you're all well. So I heard that quite a few struggled with the final question of Edexcel Paper 1. So just before we crack on the question, just to check that there are a few prerequisites you need to know to complete the question. But that aside, once that's out of the way, I can get on with explaining. So you need to know area of triangle using sign, and you need to know your known trigonometry values of sine. And you just need to know basic circle and circle areas, as well as segments and sectors. So before we start, those are the only bits of specific prerequisite that you need to know to address this question. Okay, so now for ease, let's just look at the top half of the circle at once, because the bottom half is identical, so we can always just double what we're doing conceptually, but this is just to this is an exam pace, this is just breaking down a question so it's easier for you to digest. Okay, so you can see I've drawn 3 equilateral triangles here in red dotted lines. Now, this line is a radius from the center of the left circle. These two lines are radii from the center of the middle circle, and this line here is also a radius from the right circle. So all of these red dotted lines are therefore 4 centimeters as well. So which means these 3 triangles are actually equilateral triangles. So if we are to I'll draw out just this part, this sector and segment by itself in isolation first. So what information have we got here? So this is an equilateral triangle in the middle, and these two are the radii, but I'll just keep it at 4 shorthand. I won't include the units yet. So these 3 are 4, but this is also 60 degrees, as are these two angles here. So I've laid out most of the prerequisite knowledge we need in blue, and we'll go through breaking down the areas of these two first. Okay, so for ease, let's just call this triangle A, and let's just call this segment B. You don't have to do this, but this just helps us break down the information better. Okay, so finding out the area of triangle A. So the area of a triangle, any triangle, not just a right triangle, is half AB sine C. Now we're in luck here because it's an equilateral triangle, so all 3 sides are the same, all three corners have the same angle. So you don't have to worry. A, B, and C, they're all from the same they're all going to have the same corresponding lengths and angles. So that doesn't matter, so it's just simply, so let's see, area, it just equals half times 4, which is one of the sides, and another side, and times sine 60 for 60 degrees. So one of our pre-learned trig values, sine 60 is √3/2. So let's break it down. Okay, so half times 4 times 4, it's 8. So just write it down here, times √3/2, which simplifies to 4 times √3. Okay, so there's that. Now to find the segment. So the segment is just the area of the whole sector minus the triangle, and we already have the triangle. Okay, so to keep it simple, so the original sector is 60 degrees, and we can do 60 divided by 360, which is 1/6, or we can just see it here like it's the same thing here. So you can see you can have you can already picture 6 identical sectors. So really it's just 1/6 of the area of this triangle. So area of the entire circle. So the circle area is pi r squared, which is r squared. R is 4, 4 squared is 16, so it's just 16 pi. So the sector area equals 16 pi over 6, which simplifies to 8 pi over 3. So actually, let's also label that. 8 pi over 3 is the entire area. So really the segment area is 4 pi over 3 minus, other way around, 8 pi over 3 minus 4 root 3. Okay, so these are two important bits of information. I'm just going to rub everything out and then condense the information, but this is how we got here so far. So now we have all the base information we need to basically get to the end of the question. So one thing I just want to point out when we go back to our original 3 circles, if you just look at it from different perspectives, you can see that we figure out this segment here, specifically this one. But if you tilt things around, here's this exact same sector, and therefore this segment is also the same. And by the same reasoning, all these segments have the same area. So these all have the same area. Okay, and it's the same on the bottom. So I'll just draw one equilateral triangle on the bottom, just a mirrored one. So we need the area shaded. So in total, let's see what it's all made of, okay? So, and we can break it down more simply. Shaded area equals 2 triangle A's, or two of the equilateral triangles, plus, so there's one segment here that's part of shaded, and another segment here that's part of shaded, so plus 2 segment B's, but then there's also 1, 2, 3, 4 of the segments that are not part of the shaded area, so minus 4 segment B's, which if you simplify, so these two are the same things, they're like terms, so plus 2 minus 4 gets you minus 2. So simplified, it really is 2 triangle A's minus 2 segment B's. So let's write it out fully, okay? So we have the areas here. Okay, so the same thing, let's write it out. Okay, so 2 times 4 root 3. The brackets aren't necessary, they're just going to help us compartmentalize the information here. So that's the 2 equilateral triangles minus 2 lots of segment B, which is this convoluted thing here. Okay, so this is pretty simple, becomes 8 root 3 because it's just a simple multiplication of a third. Okay, so here, let's just expand the whole bracket. So it's minus, so again, this bracket isn't necessary, but it's just going to help us compartmentalize everything. So minus this whole thing, which is 16 root 3, minus 2 times another lot of 4 root 3, 8 root 3. Now, just a little bit of caution here. You could have yourself made it this far, but you could make a slight silly mistake here. There's the opportunity to be made here. Got 8 root 3, and inside the brackets, minus 8 root 3. You might intuitively just go, okay, plus minus to cancel out. But it's actually a double minus, so it's actually 8 root 3 plus 8 root 3. But if we write the whole thing out, keep the 8 root 3's together, so we get 16 root 3 minus 16 pi over 3. And because it's a non-calculator exam, this is as simple as it can get. This is your final answer, right here. So yeah, hopefully that helps clear everything up. Yeah,